This is Rosetta Johnson, Growing Gracefully. I'm so glad you made it back to episode 2. Yay! Well, if you don't know by now, I'm your friend, your cousin, your sister, maybe even your best friend at the end of this. And I am so ready for a good talk. Let's get into it. Today, I felt real inspired to talk about a topic that is near and dear to my heart. I am finding a lot of women also dealing with it in my inner circle and some that I come across on a daily basis, and that is infertility. It's something that is definitely known, people definitely talk about it, but I'm not sure if we are aware that our people that are so close to us are also dealing with it. A lot of times you don't know about something unless it's personally something you're actually going through, and that's okay. I've been on this journey for quite some time now. Growing up in a big family, it's always been a desire of mine to have children. I was definitely that kid that played house, and I was always the mom and telling her stuffed animals to clean the room or sit down and be quiet. I was that kid. So yes, being a mommy has always been a desire of my heart. When me and my husband were dating, you know how you have all those little cute little talks about what you want your house to look like, and you want all your kids' names to start with a D. He had asked me, he said, "How many kids do you want?" And I was like, "I want 5 kids. And he was like, no, I don't know who you're going to marry, but I'm not having 5 kids. And so we agreed on at least 3. And so moving on, you know, in life, when we had got married, we waited our first year, and going into our second year, we were like, okay, we're ready to have a child. We are ready to become parents. And I remember trying for a whole year and a half, and it just wasn't happening. We got married in 2011. We had Kylan in 2014. And it was definitely a trying time. I remember literally it felt like going to the convenience store every month, seeing to get a pregnancy test to see if I was pregnant. It got to the point my husband was like, "You have to stop. Don't go and buy another test." But I remember there was one particular morning I kind of had to be disobedient and just go get one anyway. And like, I'm sorry, I just got to do it. I got to take one for the team. I really felt like this time was going to be real. And I remember I went to the Dollar Tree because I said, if it's not, at least I only spent $1 so he won't be mad. And I went and it came out positive. And just to make sure, I went and got me a Clear Blue, which it showed that I was positive. And so I was like, oh, thank God. And so, you know, now that our child is 6, we're, you know, definitely wanting and desiring another child. And about 3 years ago, I was diagnosed with PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome. And one of the side effects or symptoms of it, it makes it very difficult or it can cause infertility. And so while being told that I had this, or, you know, I was unfortunately somebody who is struggling with this, I could not have imagined this would have been my story. I remember sitting there in the doctor's chair thinking, this cannot be me. I come from a family of 7 children. I come from a grandmother who had multiple children. Like, I come from a family where people are trying to stop having kids because they keep getting pregnant. Like, why is this happening to me? And I remember sitting there thinking to myself, God, I, you know, quote unquote, did everything that I thought I was supposed to do. You know, I saved myself for marriage. You know, me and my husband, we bought a home. You feel like you're checking all these things off your list. Like, I went to college. I did all these things. But why does it feel like I'm being punished? Why does it feel like I'm being disciplined? And one of the biggest things I've ever desired in life is to have children. It's like my body is not cooperating in doing what it was created to do. And as a woman, those of you who want children, I don't know of anything more disheartening to realize your body is not producing in the way that it should. And there have been many highs, there have been many lows throughout this journey. And I remember many a times talking to my husband about it, and we just encouraging me. And you get to a place, and I'm just like, God, what did I do? Why is this happening to me? And I had to tell myself, I'm not broken, I'm not forgotten, and I'm not being punished. This is definitely a journey that is very sensitive. You're constantly being reminded either by people's questions, hey, when you going to have another one? When are you going to have your first? Don't wait till your child gets too old. It's going to be like starting all over. You hear all types of things. And though people don't mean no harm by it, you can't help but be reminded that my personal battle is becoming a public fight for everyone to see. And it's definitely a battle that you constantly are fighting every day to stay in a mind space of positivity. And for me, I had to really dig deep down and say, God, during this time of not being able to childbear like I desire and be fruitful and multiply in my natural body, what should I be doing? And so for me, it came to, Rosetta, be fruitful in other areas of your life. Though you may not be fruitful and multiplying the way you desire naturally, you could be fruitful and multiplying in your relationships, fruitful and multiplying in ideas and desires of adventures or goals. There's different things that you can be fruitful in during this time of waiting or during this time of desiring. There is other areas of your lives that you can maximize. And so with that being said, that's not a walk in the park. So I don't even want to come off like that your pain doesn't exist, because it's definitely real. Having a child or the loss of a child is definitely a pain that only a woman that desires to have a child can understand. And I want to encourage my sis watching this from the other side of this screen. You're not alone. You're not alone. You're not broken. You're not forgotten. God is not punishing you. He understands every time you have to walk down a baby aisle just wishing and hoping it's your turn. He understands the text or the call you get that says, hey friend, I'm pregnant again. He understands what it means when you're invited to another baby shower and it's not being thrown for you. He understands. Those pain, those tears, those are real. That's a real hurt. But I want to let you know, sis, it won't always be like this. How do I know? Because God doesn't make mistakes. And I know it may feel like one of the greatest failures, but I promise you, your life, everything that happens is by design. You don't know what may happen at the end of this journey for you. It could be a child. Or it may be that God is working some things out for you in your life that you may not see right now, that you may not understand right now. At the beginning of the year, I had a list of goals that I wanted to do. One of my goals that I always put on my list every year is to lose weight. And I think that's going to be an honorary member on every list that I have. It's just one of those situations, sis. It just is. But the other one I had was to be pregnant or have a baby by this time of this year. And, we're in the middle of the year and it just not seeing that way. Of course, I don't know what tomorrow holds. But at the end of this list, I had to write a scripture which says, in everything, give thanks, for this is the will of God in Christ Jesus concerning you. In everything, give thanks. That doesn't mean I'm only giving thanks when life seems to be good or on the up and up or going my way. It means giving thanks when it seems like I have been forgotten, when I have been God doesn't care or he's not concerned about my pain. When I have to go to another baby shower, when I made a Pinterest board for a baby room and it still hasn't happened for me yet, still in that time, Give thanks. I'm your friend. I'm your sis. I get it. I understand what it means when your 6-year-olds look you up in your eyes and say, Mommy, I want a brother. I want a sister. I understand. I hear those words. I get it. You're not alone. You have not forgotten. God has not forgotten you. He knows you by name. If I could challenge you with anything during this time, is give thanks. Change your outlook. Try to see this from a different perspective. Cry if you must. Talk about it if you have to. But it won't always be like this. We're going to make it through this. I got you. I'm praying with you. Trust and believe. I am praying with you. I do pray for those who are desiring to conceive because I know what it feels like. We're going to make it through this because you're not broken. You're not forgotten. And God sees you. You're not being punished. And when your time comes, you'll be able to encourage somebody else. So today, this is what we're going to do. We're going to give thanks. We're going to be fruitful in other areas of our life until it's our turn. And whatever God allows, just know that His will for our life is perfect. He doesn't make mistakes. There's no failure in Him. Just believe that He got you. He got me. He knows. So if you haven't already, we're going to wrap this talk up because we got to come back. So we got to keep talking. So we're going to come back the next time. If you haven't already, I want you to like, subscribe, share this video because we want to be an encouragement to another sis, to another friend. We got to let them know we're going to make it because we are growing gracefully. Till next time, y'all stay encouraged. We're going to make it through this. Love you.